let's come to these standing head to knee positions. So you can either take your hands onto the back of a chair or shelf or something, or you can come straight down onto the floor. So I'm talking about the feeling the form, feeling the movement taking shape. So what we can feel in this position was the first feeling we can feel is once again these polar opposites, that the feet and the legs are firm and that the upper body is more free and light. So when we come down, we're going to keep the legs and feet really firm and keep the upper body more as if it's just out in that free space in front of you. That's the first thing I'd like you to quite consciously feel. It's not just doing it, it's feeling the result of your doing. Feet and legs firmly together. And gathered quite tight with the legs. By contrast, take the arms up very freely and lightly and just come lightly down, taking your hands down onto the surface, whether it's the floor or whether it's the back of the chair. Not too much weight on them. So just stay now for a little bit of time with that feeling that on the one hand you've got the firmness of the legs. Just become absolutely still. There should be no weight on the hands. They're just lightly resting. Breath is free, face is free. You sometimes need time. Can you take your weight back a little bit more onto your heels? That's it. Then you'll find that all the weight comes off your head and it's easier to really find that stillness in the upper body. Okay, and you can just relax, hanging right down towards your legs. Soften the knees and you can either roll back up or swing up into the standing position. Standing half knee again. Right the way up. Streaming up like we did before. And take the hands down. So that holding time, I kept you there for quite a long time. The holding time is really important if we're talking about this ability to feel what's happening, because to start with, we're in doing mode. And we need to take a bit of time to switch our awareness into feeling mode. We need to calm down, we need to feel still, and then we can start to become more aware. I'd like to just do that same movement again, because I had a bit of the feeling looking at you that there was a bit of tension, and the tension comes when we're not feeling but we're focusing on what it is we need to do. So once we can start feeling a specific thing, everything becomes more still. And so I want you to try and feel that sense of your body being divided into a firm lower half and a light upper half. It's a simple concept. Two halves of the body are different, but to feel it is not so simple. So it needs time. Let's do that same thing again then. Right from the start, we can build in that opposite relationship between the two halves, the feet firmly on the ground, the legs together. And when we take the arms up, we can keep them very free and light. The fingers just lightly touching. The face is relaxed. The breath also, a real lightness. So right from the beginning, we can feel the difference between the lower half of the body and the upper half. Firmness, lightness. Then you can come down, taking your body forwards, fingers just coming lightly to the surface, whether you're resting them on something raised off the ground or whether they're on the floor themselves, it doesn't matter. And now we have to have that time of silently observing. We need to become absolutely still, so we're not interrupting our concentration by trying anymore. We give up the trying and instead we focus on silently witnessing, letting that feeling come back to us. Feet and the legs are firm. The upper body, on the other hand, is just light and free. There's no weight on the hands. Free breath. Then just relax again, hanging down, hanging into your body's softened knees, and you can come back in a free swinging movement or rolling up if you prefer. And once again, just finishing off in that standing half moon, and take the hands down. Okay, now that looked a bit different to me. Did it feel different? You can give me a thumbs up if it did. Yes, good. It just felt like a bit more concentration came about through that period of holding. Once that has happened, and we have therefore become able to let go of a bit more tension than we otherwise would, we're then able to bring some extra growth in. Now I'm going to demonstrate, and I'd like you to watch it as well as you can, given the remote conditions. I'm going to first have a first stage where I become still, like you've just done. And out of that stillness, I'm then going to grow. But it's vitally important, these two stages. If we start growing too quickly, we just carry with us the tension that we're already holding onto. But if we have that still phase where we can start to feel, we can let go of tension, and then the body is much freer to glide out forwards. I'm going to demonstrate these two steps, and you just watch quite carefully. So the same thing we've done. We've got firm legs. We've got freedom. I'm going to come down, and now I'm going to just pause where I observe. Observe the breath and start to get the feeling of how my legs are firm and my upper body is more free. And then after I've spent some time just observing, now I can grow. I can lengthen out more. I can bring that sense of a streaming movement outwards. To bring much more activity in, but I've let go of all the stuff that was in the way beforehand. And I'll just relax again and come back up in the same way as before. Was it possible for you to see that growth stage? Yeah, it was. Okay, so we'll have one more go at this movement then, as I just demonstrated. Feet and legs together with that firmness. And the arms more with a lightness. Breath flowing. Face free and relaxed. So keeping the legs firm, come down into that initial stage where you can just have that pause for observing and for starting to feel. So take your time, because to begin with it's quite hard to feel. But what you're starting to feel is how the legs remain firm and supporting you, while the upper body is just allowed to be really free, as if it's surrounded by space. The breath also flows much more freely. And now you can start to guide a more active, streaming movement outwards through your spine. Your hands can slide forwards a little bit more. So there's a whole sense of length that you can feel taking shape in your body. The dynamic grows. Keep the breath flowing freely so there's no tension building up unnecessarily. And then you can soften the knees and relax down again, looking in at your legs. And come back up, either in a free swing or rolling up. And finally, with firm feet and legs, growing and streaming upwards through the upper body, and taking the hands down.